Hello once again to another episode of Cool Discussions. This is Barry, I'm Chris. Today we're going to be talking about what we are watching. Now, we both watch The Walking Dead, so we've actually have previous episodes about it, so check them out. We will be talking about The Walking Dead again, because eventually the season's going to end, and we're going to go, no. And we'll talk about it then too, so we're going to talk about other things that we watch.
Yep.
Right now, actually, I just finished watching one called The Chronicles of Shanaria. It's based off a book series by Terry Brooks. Terry Brooks was actually there on set to help them mold the story, because from what I remember and from what a lady I work with is telling me about the book, it's a lot different than how the book is, because...
Never even heard of it.
No, well, unless you're a science fiction fan, you're generally not going...
Yeah.
Or a reader of books, for that matter, because that's becoming rarer and rarer nowadays. Yeah, no, it was good. It was made by MTV. It was a good series. It was.
You mean
done.
It wasn't about drunken, half-naked women and muscular men fighting over
Nope.
these said women?
No, well, okay,
Wow.
the men are good looking, the women are good looking. Obviously, it's for television. It's a given. However, it was well done. Like, they put you could see that they put a lot of effort into it. They just had the season finale, and there was a big battle, and they paid for it. Like, it wasn't just CGI everywhere. It was like a lot of extras dressed up in battle armor going at it, and yeah, it was an interesting series.
So how many episodes was it?
I believe it was 8.
So did you just binge watch it?
No, it's...
Or was it like a week by
It was a week-by-week thing, so
okay.
Last night I watched the last 2 episodes.
Go check out our streaming versus cable episode a few weeks back. On our YouTube channel, we talked about which service is better.
I'm a streamer.
I'm both. I'm a streamer and a cabler.
Yeah, so...
Go check it out. Go check it out.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, there's one I just finished watching, and I would actually recommend to people. You don't have to have read the books. The books, I don't remember, because it's been so long ago, probably like 20 years
I've only read, I've read more than one book in my life, but not a lot. Maybe 2 or 3. But I've only read one book that they turned into a movie.
Oh, which one?
It was called Timeline. I think it was by Michael Crichton, I think.
Yeah.
And it was about where they traveled back in time, and the book 10 times better than the movie.
Yes. Actually, I do remember that one now.
Yeah.
You read it, and I was like, you read a book?
I know.
And it was like, okay, I'm going to read this book too. And I read it. It was good. And I
Yeah.
watched the movie. The movie was okay.
The movie was fine.
Yeah, the movie is fine if you don't care for books.
Yeah,
the movie is a
was
good
fine.
substitute.
But the book way better. But I think that's probably how it usually works. The book is probably better than the TV, because it's hard to adapt directly from a book to screen.
One of the things that's very hard to adapt from a book to the screen is internal monologue.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Because when you are having an internal monologue, you can easily write it on a page, but on TV, that's a lot harder.
What are you talking about? You just get Morgan Freeman to come in, voiceover, and he was deep in thought. That was horrible, Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, it was.
But you get what I'm saying. Myself, I just watched the series called Billion. On with what's his name?
No, I think I know which one you're talking about.
I watched it on Crave TV.
Oh, okay.
And I just watched it. I binge watched it, obviously. I watched it in like 5 days.
How many episodes?
8.
8? Okay.
So I don't know. But it was really good. It was I started off, and the first scene, I'll tell you, the first scene was the main character, one of the main characters, he was tied up kind of like in a bondage scenario.
Was it a bondage scenario?
That's exactly what it was, and it was totally trippy. And you see this woman in like a dominatrix outfit, she burns him with a cigarette, and then she goes, "Oh, let's take care of that," and she kind of pees on him. And that was the opening scene of this show, and I went, that's not exactly what I was expecting at all.
No.
And then but I watched it. I had a hard time with the villain in it. The guy who played him was he wasn't very good. Just like something about the way he talked and the way he acted wasn't the greatest, but you kind of grew into him over a couple episodes.
Okay.
So if you watch one, give it a couple.
Okay,
Because
so
you'll
you'll watch more than one episode.
Yeah,
Okay.
give it a couple episodes because then you'll go, okay, and you'll understand why he is the way he is. And so maybe he played it well, but I didn't really like him as an actor. But I recently watched that. Other than that, I don't really watch a lot of television. To be honest, like my TV's on, like it's on the Food Channel or it's on like, you know, some our sports. Like I said in the previous one, I'm a big sports guy. Or Twitch.
Yeah, okay. Well, see, that's what you're watching.
You know?
So, I've just started watching Breaking Bad. Yeah, I know it's been out for a few years, and I get it. I totally get why people think this show was actually really good.
Should probably start trying to watch that show one day. It's like Game of Thrones. Everybody says to watch Game of Thrones,
You
but
gotta watch
I've
Game
never
of
watched
Thrones.
it.
Game
I'm
of
like,
Thrones.
bleh.
The new season is coming out. I'm actually, unfortunately, a season behind. So, but Game of Thrones is really incredible. Like, it's well done. Sex is there. Sex and violence is there. The sex is, I guess some of it's gratuitous, but most of it's actually along the lines of what's in the story. There are purposes behind it.
Develops the story.
Well, it helps introduce a character for one, which was an awesome introduction to that character, which is just amazing. But yeah, if you've never seen Game of Thrones, go watch
I think I've
Game of
seen
Thrones.
5 minutes of the show.
Oh, okay, well,
And same with Breaking Bad. I've probably watched 5 minutes of it. If
seen
that.
clips here and there.
Yeah, like I've never sat down and watched. I can because it's on like Netflix and Crave and shit like that. So I'll, one day I'll get to it. But it's like Sons of Anarchy. That show was apparently a really good show, and I watch it periodically because my wife, she watched it all, and if I was home, I'd watch it. But other than that, it was like, man, whatever.
No, you didn't.
It was fine.
See, whereas, yeah, I'm told Sons of Anarchy is supposed to be a really good show, and it's just like, no, I have no
It was fine.
interested in it.
Like that. I think that's when I'm watching any kind of movie or any kind of like television show. I'm not a big I'm not a critic. Like I sit there and I watch it and I go, that was good or that was bad, and I go,
Yeah,
okay, that's
like
it.
me and the missus, like we have shows that we watch together. Another one is Gotham. We watched because it was like a cool concept, the idea of a Gotham City pre-Batman. So when Bruce Wayne is just a kid and the villains are just starting to come out of the woodworks, and we watched the first season, and the characters were really intriguing. Done really well, and it's just like, okay, you know what, this is interesting. You started watching the second season, and it keeps getting better. Now, there are, like, the mid-season finale episode, it was very cliche. Like, if there is a cliche in the book, they had it in this episode. And it made the whole episode really corny.
Yeah.
So it was like, however, it's in accordance with, how comics work. So, not a big deal. But the second season, or the second half of the season has started, and they've introduced a new villain. The start of a new villain.
Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, Mr. Freeze.
Yeah.
And it's interesting how they did it. They twisted it a little bit. It's cool because Bruce Wayne as a kid shows up, and it's funny because Alfred, when he first showed up in the first season, total dislike to him.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, that's not Alfred, but he's grown on you, and
That's a good show. That's a development of a good show.
Yeah.
When characters can grow on you and they can make you feel different emotions. I think that's what people, when they make shows, are going for.
Yeah, and
Is that-
Gotham is actually a really good show to watch.
I've thought about watching it, but it's kind of one of those things where if I watch it on like one of my streaming services, like I'll watch it all, then I'll be like, oh, now I gotta wait for the new episodes to come on, and now I'm gonna have to rewatch it. I watched Hell on Wheels a while back, and it's through 5.5 seasons or something like that. And I watched up to current, and I'm like, well, now I gotta wait, and now I'm gonna forget what the hell happens. You know what I mean? I'm gonna have to watch the whole damn show again.
Well, that's one of the things about watching things currently on TV is, one, you have to wait week to week, and I found that I'm finding that with The Walking Dead, it's really annoying.
Yeah.
I
I try to
don't like
find
that.
shows on streaming services that I can just go, okay, the whole show's on there? Okay.
Yeah.
I can watch the whole show, I'm finished. I don't have to worry about it.
Another one that we are watching, like me and the missus, it's called Rin, Daughters of some big weird word with lots of letters together that don't make sense as a word. Anyways, we're like, okay, we're going to pick a random anime and start watching because we have a whole anime list. And we picked this one, and there was only like 6 episodes. We're like, woohoo, anime was 6 episodes. 45 minutes an episode. And wow, what a start to the series. Like, this is not a kid show. Definitely no. Don't let your kids watch this. This is not something you want your kids to see. Just to explain why. In one of the scenes, the main character, she got captured, and this a sadist is having her way with her, and in one of the parts of the scene, she's pulling on a chain, and the chain, because you're seeing it from the back, the camera's from the back, you see the sadist right there, and she's pulling a chain, and the chain goes from her hand down to here, into the crotch area. You don't really see anything, but she starts screaming. And it's just like, that's just some of the things, that's just part of it, and the rest of the scene, they actually show bits and pieces of it, and it's just like, whoa. Story's good, characters are good, and they do an interesting way of showing passage of time in it, too.
Yeah.
So, we haven't finished watching it, but we're 4 episodes in, and it's like, wow, this is actually a really good
That's
series.
one good thing about like the shows that they make for streaming services. Like I've noticed a lot with Netflix. They have a lot of like Netflix originals. Is that they're just like 1 hour shows. Now they make a full 1 hour.
Oh, yeah.
There's no commercials. It's not a 40-minute show.
Like Breaking Bad, 40 anywhere from
minutes.
40
Yeah.
40 to 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Because 15 minutes, 20 to 15 minutes of it is commercials. So
Yeah.
you have an hour show. Same with Gotham.
I recently watched the Netflix original Love, and it's funny.
Oh,
It was quirky. It's like pretty much it's just like this really quirky guy, and he meets this kind of whacked out girl, and then it's a story of them kind of going through their thing and their courtship and stuff like that. And it's really funny. It's very intriguing. You know, I'm the type of person I have to when I flip on that show, I have to within 15 minutes I have to go, okay, I like this show, or I don't.
There has to be something that catches
grabs
you.
me.
Yes.
If it doesn't, I go, okay, turn it off. There's so many episodes that shows on these things that I've clicked on and I watch, and I'm like, okay, all right, click off. The Office. I tried to watch The Office.
British
Steve
or
Carell, American.
Yeah.
And I went, why was this show so popular?
It has an unusual sense of humor.
So I just flip on Seinfeld, baby.
yeah. Seinfeld is actually a good idea for an unusual sense of humor. For that matter, I did the same thing. There was this one called this cartoon called Animals. Now it's an HBO cartoon, so it's not meant for kids. It's about animals if they were like people, humanized, but they still live in the human world. And it's just like, watched 15 minutes of it, basically one episode, and it's just like, wow.
That was a waste of my life.
Yeah, stop.
Are you watching any of the new Big Brother Canada?
No, you know what? I have stopped watching reality TV.
Oh. We talk about reality TV.
Yeah, we did.
One of our episodes. Really, why have you stopped watching reality TV?
It's difficult on streaming.
Boring?
No. Okay, I liked... last year I watched the Canadian Big Brother because...
Which we talked about.
Yeah, we did talk about that one. It was good. I didn't watch it this year because I find that reality TV is very difficult to find on streaming.
I think reality... One issue with reality TV is that it always has to try and be better than the previous year. So they try to throw so many twists or so many new ideas into it. it's just like, because you'll get the same thing if you just keep going season to season, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And then the one season they'll put in so many good things, and then the next season it's next to impossible to beat. It's next to impossible to live up to the previous season, and it's like, well, you did that to yourself. Instead of throwing 10 ideas into one season, why don't you throw 2?
Yeah.
And keep 8 for
Next year.
4 more years.
Well, because
you know what I mean?
Survivor's on twice a year, right?
Yeah.
Big Brother, albeit it's only on once a year,
But there's
is on
US, American,
for
3 months.
yeah,
or
3
something
months,
silly like that.
3 months, 3 times a week.
Yeah. It's a lot of content.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then on top of that, you can go. There's the 3 weekly shows, and then there's the nightly show,
The After Dark, and then you
Yeah,
can
the
watch
After
the
Dark.
live feeds.
Yeah,
and it's like,
so
you can
there's a
consume your whole life.
lot of content in regards to Big Brother. I get that, but yeah, I also used to watch The Amazing Race.
I like that.
I like that show a lot because it was cool just going to places, and the challenges that they had to do were really interesting. I didn't like it when Amazing Race had the crossovers, like Big Brother contestants.
Aren't they doing I think the Amazing Race, the new one is reality stars or YouTube stars or something like that. I think that's their whole theme this time.
Okay.
It's like,
Well, I don't know. I've never actually watched it.
I just saw something on YouTube on it, and I just clicked on it once, and I went, okay.
Yeah. So, again, that cable versus streaming. If I had cable, I'd probably be watching some of those reality, but I don't, and they're just very difficult to find, and then you can't find really good copies of it. So I just stopped watching it because I have access to many other things that I actually do want to watch. Another of them that's currently on air is DC Legends of Tomorrow. It's a crossover of... Okay, I watched Flash. The first season was really well done. The second season I'm not liking. Period. Mm-hmm. Like, I've watched the whole second season so far, but except for 2 episodes, I think if that's the way it started, I would never have watched it.
Yeah.
Now, in Flash, for that matter, Arrow, they've introduced a bunch of characters, like secondary characters. So you get to know them a little bit. In DC Legends of Tomorrow, they take those secondary characters from Flash and the Arrow and put them together in a group, and they have to defeat a villain that was in...
There's so many shows that do that now, ain't it? Like, what's going to happen when The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead...
They'll never meet.
No, but what happens when Fear catches up to the timeline of...
They can't.
Yeah, they can. Why couldn't they?
Well, okay, but then they'd also only skip ahead
No,
years.
but what happens when they... Are they, No, not what I'm talking about, exactly the same time, but, say when Fear gets into where The Walking Dead timeline starts the show The Walking Dead, are they just going to follow this group of people through the same type of Walking Dead
they'd have
show type thing?
I guess it's
so what are
going
they
to
going
come
to call
down
it?
to...
The Walking Dead 2?
Well, it's going to come down to... Well, it's still going to be called Fear the Walking Dead.
Or are they just going to stop it at that point and be like, that's series finale on that?
Maybe, but it comes down to popularity. If a show is doing really well, they extend it, like Breaking Bad. From what I understand, the main character has cancer, right? It's dealt with very quickly in the series. Mm-hmm. Now, it's a 5 season series, and they make his cancer go into remission, so he lives a little longer, so they can make more series, right? So it's kind of like there are ways around it.
Yeah, but
based on popularity. Supernatural is one I used to watch. It was set up for a 5-season arc.
Yeah,
that's the way the show was written.
I think everything needs to have that kind of arc. If I was writing a show, in my mind I would be like, I have a start and I have a time that I want it to end, regardless of the popularity. You know what I mean? Because what happens when you drag it out so long that it just becomes filler content for most of a season, you know what I mean? That happened with, I think a lot of shows do that. They have episodes where you're like, that was pointless. There was no... So I think for me, my viewing pleasure would be. That's why I think I prefer movies, is because there's a start and there's an end in a couple hours. Whereas with a show like The Walking Dead, we'll probably reference that a lot because it's one of the most popular shows on television. Right now it had a start, and now it's kind of there's a start, there's some story, there's some stalling, a little bit more story, stalling, a little bit more story, stalling.
What you don't see down below is he's
I'm doing this. It's kind of just starting and stopping, starting, stopping, and it's like, what if we just put this into a progression of, here's a 7-season, 8-season series that I want to put out. You know what I mean? Obviously, if it didn't do well, it would bomb in the first season. But I'm pretty sure it did bomb in the first season. I'm sure it wasn't the most popular thing in the first season.
What?
The Walking Dead.
No, actually, that's the reason why it was picked up for season 2. Season
but it's
2
not like,
and 3 were highly criticized because it was so.
But it's not. It's not like you're looking at
filler.
15 to 17 million people who view it now compared to in the first season. I don't think they had those kind of numbers.
No, but they had enough numbers to say, hey, we're
enough is what, 2 million?
Probably 6-7 million, I think, was the first season.
I think when I've looked at, because I've always looked at The Walking Dead, and when award season comes around, and they always never get nominated.
Oh, they never will.
Because then I'm like, well, and I look at like the ratings for the shows that get nominated, and they're like 2.7 million, 3 point some viewers, and I'm like, The Walking Dead is crushing these guys, crushing, not just beating them, crushing. The Walking Dead is crushing every TV show on it.
The same with the Oscars. With the Oscars, how many of those movies that are nominated for Best Picture have you actually even heard of, let alone seen?
Actually, we watched The Room.
Oh, yeah.
That was really good.
Okay.
Spotlight, which is the one about the preachers.
Oh, okay.
Amazing movie.
Oh, wow.
Very, very eye-opening. Very, very, like, I can't believe this is happening, and they're getting away with it. And what else? Oh, I can't even remember, but those 2 movies, I know they were nominated. I know Spotlight won.
Okay, there you go. Right there. Was it Spotlight?
Yeah, Spotlight won.
Best Picture?
Yeah.
Oh.
And the girl for Room, I want to call it The Room, but it's just called Room. She won Best Actress.
I thought that was the Danish girl one.
No, that was supporting actress, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But anyway,
so she was white, though.
Yes, she was.
Go check out our previous episode about the Oscars.
And we talk about that. But right there, there's a disconnect from
reality of what the world is watching.
What people are watching But now, mind you, Jersey Shore was a really popular show at its time. Do you really want something like that to be up for
anything on MTV shouldn't be on. Why are you on TV? Oh, you're making stupid people popular, like
famous, for no reason.
Why are these people like the situation? Ooh, what the fuck?
What's the situation?
He was one of the guys on Jersey Shore. I watched Jersey Shore, unfortunately, because of the wifey liked it, and so I kind of like
watched it.
It was like one of those, when you see a car accident, you see a dead body hanging out of it, and you're like, holy shit, I shouldn't be looking, but I'm looking, because this is very fascinating. That's what the Jersey Shore was like. That's what any MTV show is like Teen Mom, 16 and Pregnant. You know what I mean? It's like
true. It's like when TLC used to be the learning channel and actually showed you learning stuff, and they had operations on there.
Now what is?
Do you really want to watch an operation? No.
But you
click.
Do.
Ooh, this is fascinating.
Well, that's a hard. Wow, it's really
yeah. It's just, and you're watching it. It's just like,
why am I watching this? I can't watch. I can't watch it, but you're doing this.
Yeah, you did that with the nut surgery.
The vasectomy,
yeah, the vasectomy.
I can't watch. Oh my god, why am I still watching this? Ah! But I can't turn away.
I remember that actually. So,
man.
But yeah, we watch a variety of shows because you watch sports. I don't watch sports.
It's the only reason I have cable. Yeah. It's because of sports.
And yeah, I don't watch sports, so I don't need cable. So that was the gist of the streaming versus cable debate. And thanks for listening. if you guys watch things, tell us what. You know what? There's all kinds of shows out there. Like, none of us mentioned Orange is the New Black.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, okay. See, I haven't watched it.
No? It's a good one. I like it.
Don't have an interest in it.
2 thumbs up. It's really good. I like it.
Game of Thrones, 2 thumbs up. Yeah.
I'm sure I would like it if I watched it.
Yeah. You gotta watch it.
I'm sure it would.
Amazing. So,
like us.
subscribe.
Comment. Share. YouTube.
Yeah.
Facebook. iTunes. All that good stuff, guys. We're going to be blabbing our mouth every week for weeks to come. So remember to like, comment, and share. And thanks for giving us a little bit of your time. Thanks for, listening.
Yes,
Have yourselves a wonderful, wonderful day, week.
You'll see us next time.
That's right. Until next time. Same bad time, same bad channel.
I was worried that we were going to say that one day.
Goodbye.